heck, I got in from Nebraska a week before the show, driving through a hailstorm, got it as clean as I could, and then we started working on the new truck. And yeah, definitely wasn't expecting that truck to even do anything.
SuperRigs recently ended. You took home the winning prize. Tell me about the event and your win.
Well, it was Fort Worth, pretty much my backyard. So we was like, heck, we got to go to that one. Uh, and yeah, so we showed up and brought 5 trucks and debuted the newest truck that I just got done building. And yeah, it was a good time. Enjoyed it. Good atmosphere, like always. And it was just a fun time.
How do you decide which shows to go to and which shows to put your trucks in?
Uh, Honestly, it's kind of random. If it fits in the schedule, it fits in the schedule. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Work comes first and play comes second.
Now, talk to me. You said you took a few trucks there. Talk to me about the truck that won Best of Show.
Okay, so that's the 2019 Glider 389. That's the second truck that was built in memory of my grandpa. I brought the first truck that was built in memory of my grandpa, and they kind of go together. They're the same colors: charcoal gray and viper red. And the other one's named Savvy. This one's named Hoss because my grandpa always used to ask everybody, "You Savvy Hoss?" So this one's named Hoss. I wanted to go kind of an older school scheme on it, like 379, because I've always loved 379s. So we did the grill surround, 379 grill surround, double square headlights, little pops, glass lights. Just wanted to kind of get a little bit of an old school feel on it. And the inside, it's all spruced up and everything. It's got speakers and everything else in it because you got to have good music while driving down the road. Um, and motor's painted. It's got a C16 1mm with PDI compound turbos. And like walking around the truck, if you're looking at the inside of the hood, inside the interior, all the striping matches inside and out from the exterior to the interior to the inside of the hood matches the outside of the hood. I wanted to make everything look symmetrical and everything with that truck.
And how did it feel having that truck win? And like you said, you did that in honor of your grandfather?
Yes. It felt awesome, like that's a pretty big deal winning best of show at Super Rig. So, I mean, it was an honor to get it. Definitely wasn't expecting it because we was more focused on getting the new truck that we debuted there. Uh, more more prepared and everything else. So, I mean, heck, I got in from Nebraska a week before the show, driving through a hailstorm, got it as clean as I could, and then we started working on the new truck. And yeah, definitely wasn't expecting that truck to even do anything.
Yeah, I was curious about that. When you go into these shows, do you go in, hoping to win, or do you just go in to have fun and learn?
No, it's more like it's more to just chasing the trophy. It's more about the camaraderie, hanging out with everybody, getting to meet new people, seeing old friends that lives halfway across the country that you don't see very often. That's what I get more out of it, is just getting to see everybody and meet new people and getting to show people like my ideals that I have in my head that I put on the trucks and stuff like that.
And you also won Best of Lights?
Best lots, yes.
Lights. Talk to me about that. That was a different truck?
No, that was this truck. That was the truck that won best of show. So yeah, it's just got all glass lens lights on it. And yeah, just it's all glass, even the underglow.
And talk to me about how do you prepare going into these shows? You said, it was kind of a crazy time beforehand. When you're going in to clean up the trucks, I know Jamie Jones works for Landline Magazine. She's talked to me about the process of, I mean, they really look at like every inch of the truck. So how do you prepare to have it shown?
So like to get the truck that won ready, like I said, I literally got in from Nebraska, and I went through a hailstorm on the way back and everything. And what I did whenever I got it back to the shop, pulled all the fenders, pulled all the wheels and tires, flipped them around, put it gone into the wash bay, washed all the underneath of it, uh, had the polishers come in and polish the inners and outers, and really just try to get it as clean as possible.
Now, this isn't the first time you were at Super Rigs, right?
No,
And it's not the first time you won Super Rigs, right?
it's the first time that I've ever won Best of Show at SuperRigs.
Okay.
Yes.
Talk to me about was it your first Super Rigs that you claimed a prize?
First SuperRigs. I can't remember what year that was, but it was up in Virginia that year, and that's whenever I took Yastavi, which is the first truck that I built in memory of my grandpa up there. Uh, that was a cool experience in itself, like never doing it before or anything like that. And then that truck even making a calendar spot. Uh, like it was a very fun experience, and me, I was only 21 years old at the time, and it was just awesome.
And now the prize for this year, 10 grand and a calendar spot. Any plans for your winnings?
Uh, put it back into the trucks. I mean, that's make use that money to make them cool.
And getting a calendar spot for people who don't know, what is that like?
Oh, it's so cool, and especially like having my gray truck in there, and now this truck, like both trucks being in a shell calendar that was built in memory of my grandpa. Like that's the icing on the cake for me. Like that's all I ever wanted, just for both of them trucks to be at least in the same calendar.
And talk to me a little bit, how did you end up getting into trucking?
So, I mean, we've had an excavation company. My grandpa started it back in '63, and like growing up, my dad was driving a truck, moving all of our equipment and everything. And like I would just be sitting there riding with him all the time, and I fell in love with it. And I love moving equipment. I always enjoyed going with my dad and helping him, watching him move equipment and riding around with him and everything, and just fell in love with it, and I love it.
And so obviously when you were 21, you got your CDL.
I actually got it at 18.
Oh, wow.
So I was driving at 18 right out of high school, moving all of our machinery around and everything.
And talk to me a little bit about the company and what you guys haul.
So, like I said, my grandpa started it back in '63. Then early 2000s, my dad took it over. Um, and then we just grew and grew. And like whenever I first started driving at 18, we only had two heavy haul trucks and three rock trucks. And uh, moving all of our own equipment and stuff. And now we're up to, I took it over, what would that be? The trucking side back in 2017. And now we're up to six heavy hauls and 17 rock trucks. And we primarily haul all of our own equipment, of course. And then we have some other companies that we haul for around the DFW Metroplex area. We supply rock and stuff to various places around the DFW Metroplex area. A lot of sand plants, a lot of landfills, so on and so forth.
What is it about trucking in the industry that you enjoy so much?
I don't know, just like me to me, hauling equipment is it's a different adventure every day. Like, yeah, it might be the same piece that you moved 5 or 6 times already, but it's always going to be different. The machines that it varies. Like, yeah, it might be the same machine, but it's going to load different no matter what. And then the places that you go into, it's kind of a challenge, especially around the Metroplex area. Everything's getting more tighter and everything like that. Uh, sorry. Uh, and everything's getting tight. So it makes it kind of a challenge to get in and out of places. And that's what I enjoy about it. I enjoy a good challenge and everything.
And how nice is it? I mean, obviously you're working hard, most of the year to take time off and go to these shows.
Well, I don't know about if it's taking off time because I feel like you work harder at a truck show than you do at actual work. But it's rewarding, especially like the guys that I brought to the show and everything. They enjoy it. Like it's not just working every day; it's something different. You get to kind of enjoy yourself and like look at the other cool ideals that people has and everything like that. And it's fun.
Yeah, I was curious about that. When you go to these shows, obviously you're focused on your own trucks, but do you walk around and talk to other truck drivers and kind of get some new ideas?
Yeah, so that's what I like doing. Like after we get everything cleaned and everything, and like the final wipe down and everything, like I like to walk around and look at other people's trucks. Like I like to talk to people, see bounce ideals off their heads, and see what their ideals are, and like compare ideals and just see their creativity of stuff and everything like that.
Now, what's it like going to these shows, with other truck drivers? You're younger, and I assume, some of these other guys have been in the business for decades and decades. Do you learn a lot from them? What's that like?
Oh, for sure. Like I've always been raised like keep your mouth closed whenever you're around older people and that has more experience. You'll learn a lot more that way.
And have you gone to Super Rigs every year since you've like
Uh, I didn't get to go to the one up in Chicago, and I didn't get to go to the one in Wyoming. They just didn't work. I don't have anything going that way, so I just couldn't pull the trigger on bouncing up there and bouncing all the way back.
now when it comes to the calendar, were you there for like the photo shoot of the truck? I know that there's a lot that goes into those.
Oh yeah, so I was actually changing out of my wet socks, and Mike, the guy that drives my old gray truck, he called me. He's like, "Hey, there's a lady from Shell here that needs to see you like right now." So I threw on some dry socks. I'm still in dirty jeans and a wore out T-shirt from cleaning all day, and get there and walk up, and she's like, "You want to go take a picture?" And I was like, "Well, of course." And I was like, when do you want to do it?" And she was like, "Right now." I was like, and I looked down. I was like, "Well, I guess we'll show the part being dirty and everything." But yeah, that was cool getting to be there and like watch the photo shoot and everything like that. It was a really cool scene, like where they did the pictures and stuff, and it was really cool.
Yeah, I'd interviewed the photographer last year, and I know she doesn't just like walk by and snap a picture. Like she very much works with the angles of the truck. And what's it like to, I mean, see the pictures of the truck? I was looking at some of the, especially the lights. They do those at night. What's it like having those pictures?
It's cool because like they're really high quality pictures, and like you're like it's really rewarding just getting to look at the pictures, and you're like, yeah, I I did that. Like that's cool.
Were you surprised that you won this year?
Oh, I was so surprised. Like I looked at my dad and I was like, wait, what? Like they didn't call my name, and I was very shocked because, like I said, I mean, it to me it's just a work truck. Like it just, like I said, went through a hailstorm 2 weeks before the show and everything. So like, I was just going to have fun, and it was in the backyard, so might as well go. And it was at Texas Motor Speedway, so definitely got to go to that.
And what's it like? I think find it interesting that these show trucks also have to be working trucks. And so that's, I mean, that's essentially your office every day. Is that right?
Right? Yes.
And so what's that like? I mean, it's a beautiful office, you could say.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's a office with views, different view every day.
Now, next year, are you gonna go to Super Rigs again or just play it by ear?
I'm going to play it by ear. If it's somewhere where I can get freight to and go, and it fits into the schedule, and we're not busy around here, we're going to go. But like I said, work comes first and play comes second.
What advice would you have for truckers who are either going into Super Rigs or any other truck show and showing their truck?
Be proud of what you got. Don't compare your truck to other trucks that's there. Like be proud of it, and be humble. Be willing to take advice from other people. Um, and just have fun. Don't get stressed out just because it's a truck show. Just go in there and have fun.